Welcome to the Nick and Matt Show, bringing the player interviews you want to hear and the hot topics you want to discuss. Streaming live on the Foundation Podcast YouTube channel, here's Nick and Matt.
Paul Mcbeth, everybody. There's too many accolades, I feel like, to do the full introduction correctly, but welcome to the show, Paul.
Thanks for having me. I feel so underdressed right now. I've been outside trying to get the RV going. We have some technical difficulties on the RV side. Some of the lights inside aren't working, so we're still in Virginia.
You've been trying to get out of there for a while, but congrats on the Memorial Championship. Nick, if you want to take this first question, go for it. I'm going to let you host, even though you're sitting next to him. It's kind of different, right?
Yeah, I know, right? I'm going to kind of read it from my phone because I haven't memorized my questions yet. But Paul, you won the Memorial. You are now, I think that you were a 5-time champion of the Memorial. Now this is your 6th win. It wasn't an elite series this year, but can you tell us, kind of your ambition to go back to the event, win the event, and what does this win kind of mean to you?
There we go. It's a tournament I've been to so many times. Growing up in Southern California, it's not too far away. It's one of the closest out-of-state events that I've played, so it means a lot. I mean, it's my first big win. It was my first national tour, and really the tournament that kind of propelled my career. So it means a lot. And the reason I went is, one, it's a disc golf event. It's kind of the first one, and it's on the West Coast, and it's one that you always know the weather's going to be great at. It's going to be warm. So getting out of the cold was a big reason. And it's the whole COVID stuff. You never know how many tournaments are going to happen, how many aren't going to happen. Hopefully all of them happen. So I just want to get these tournaments in just in case something like that happens. And it's somewhere I'm familiar with, and I can kind of use it as a warm-up and practice style event as well. So, it was good to get the 6-1.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Paul said it best in a sense of it's a very warm tournament, especially for being late February, early March. Vegas, we were fortunate to have some pretty good weather besides the wind, but then in Memorial, the last 2 days were easily over 85 degrees. Kind of a side question to all that. For the people who don't know, the highest rated round of disc golf ever played was 1132, shot by Paul Mcbeth, actually at Fountain Hills. It was a 17 down rated round in 2013. I forgot. I think it's 2013 at the moment, but going back, do you ever feel like when you go to Fountain Hills, do you ever feel like you have something to prove there, or you're just going out and you're trying to win the tournament?
I just want to go out there and win. I mean, I know that tournament or that round I was so far back that I had nothing to lose at that point. So that's kind of when those rounds happen. So I had to chase down a really big deficit, and I was able to do that with that 17 down. And then Schuster happened to miss he never added up his scorecard, and that's a 2-stroke penalty. So I somehow got into a playoff. But I don't ever feel like I have something to prove there. I think that course always changes. There was a couple of different holes, and the one I missed to shoot 17 is a lot easier now, but it's still not really getting two'd. So, never feel like I have something to prove there. And the more that they, kind of extend that course, kind of try to extend Vista, and we have a lot of talented players going there that it doesn't matter what you shoot in one round. It takes 4 great rounds to win an event these days.
Awesome. So I looked up stats a little bit. I like stats. And so I checked out a little bit of your previous performances, number one, but then looked at last year's performance compared to this year's performance. You shot 1 stroke better this year than last year's Memorial Championship. And you averaged 1,060, which I know ratings every week. I'm just going to stop giving my disclaimer. I know ratings aren't the end all, but it gives me a good average, which 1,060 is about 10 rating points higher than last week at LVC, or now a week and a half ago. Do you feel like how do you compare that to the LVC? Was it an improvement at the Memorial Championship, and how does this past weekend leave you feeling? So now you've had 2 events under your belt, a win here, obviously, at Memorial, playing a little bit better rating-wise than LVC. How does it leave you feeling going into the rest of the tournaments coming up, like Waco, for instance?
Yeah, winning that way and being close it's always great because you always learn from it. You always learn how to handle yourself in those battles. So it's always good to get that feeling no matter what the score is, because you kind of have this head-to-head battle going on. And then in that situation, I had AB really, I mean, he had 4 strokes on me in the first, I think, 4 holes or something. So he extended his lead pretty good. And then I was able to chase him down. And then Ulibarri on the second card was just going off. So then I had to start looking at scores to see that side of it and start continuing to push. I couldn't just worry about AB. Because those holes in the back, I mean, at Fountain Hills and Vista, there's so much OB involved. You can kind of get away with it at Las Vegas a little bit more if you have some errant drives, but there, you're off a little bit and you're out of bounds. So I kind of had to check if I had to continue pushing, and Yuli showed that I had to. So it was great to have a battle like that. I don't think I play. I think I played better this week at Memorial than I did last week at Vegas, but if we had all the players, I think it would have been interesting to see how it played out. But the weather was 2 of the days was pretty nasty, pretty windy. So the score shot could have won, could not have. If Eagle, Ricky, and all those players were still there, but you never know. So I was able to battle it out with the guys there, and it was a lot of fun, and it was a good experience.
I'm glad you said that. I was actually going to follow up with, do you think your score would have held up had you mentioned, like you said, all the rest of the players are there? But that's speculation. You answered it already. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So this event, not being a DGPT or national tour or anything like that, didn't have those phase 1 restrictions that we're pretty much used to right now going out on the road. But Arizona obviously has their own pandemic guidelines going on with everything, and they have rules. I know that the tournament directors had made there's no spectators technically allowed. The 2 courses that are played for the Memorial Championships are both public parks, so you have people kind of lining up the sidewalks, being respectful of hopefully the 6 feet apart standard that we're used to right now. But no spectators were allowed, so to say, on the fairways. But as people have seen, AB had a massive eagle on hole 15 of the event. And the videos that were shown of it did actually show a pretty large crowd that was pretty much gathered up. And it was excited seeing that eagle and everything like that. How was it playing in front of fans again? People going for a stroll that day?
Yeah, so it wasn't a pro tour or national tour, but it had the strictest COVID guidelines I've played in since COVID has become a thing. So we had to wear our masks at all times unless we were throwing, and that was, I mean, it was 85, almost 90 degrees, so that was miserable.
Yep.
So having those guidelines was kind of frustrating. It was difficult to play in. It's difficult to breathe. It was dusty. Your masks are all dirty from playing, so that kind of sucked. But yeah, having no fans, but having a lot of people taking a stroll in the park was very interesting. A lot of people were stopping. I didn't recognize anyone out there, so it was pretty incredible. But yeah, it was an awesome feeling having a lot of people there cheering and watching. And it kind of gives you those butterflies in your stomach that have kind of been missing with the fans and spectators out there. So really cool feeling, and to see AB make that eagle and continue to charge was exciting, because it's like I was excited to see people cheering like that for someone, because it's been so long. Like, it's been over a year since Waco, pretty much, which is this week. So yeah, it's incredible to see, and hopefully we can have that again here soon.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that Anthony Barella video, that I don't know who posted it, social media rounds, it felt weird to me. Like, when was this recorded? Like, it felt weird, but I will say it felt like that. I don't know, something that you've missed in your childhood, and you're like, there it is. Like, it had that feeling to me as a viewer. So I can only imagine for you, when you were playing your round and finishing out, did you have people cheering for you?
Did I have people cheering for me?
Yeah, I mean, like, was that energy there? Yeah.
Yeah. It was all over the whole weekend. So it was for everyone. I think people were just excited to be out there watching disc golfers and watching players they've been seeing only on YouTube for the last year. So yeah, it was incredible, and I did have a few fans out there.
Awesome.